All units, stand by for a final radio call. Dispatch to Deputy Ming, badge 1956. Dispatch to Deputy Ming. No response from Deputy Ming. This is the final call for Deputy Elijah Ming, badge 1956. Deputy Ming served with the Wyandotte County Sheriff's Office for almost 9 years with honor and distinction. On July 26, 2025, Deputy Ming made the ultimate sacrifice in the line of duty. Though he is no longer with us, his courage and legacy will live on. Deputy Ming, we thank you for your service. You are clear to go 10-7. Rest in peace.
And we thank you for continuing to watch our coverage here on KSHB 41 of the funeral for fallen officer Deputy Ming, who died 2 weeks ago in the line of duty. I'm Taylor Himness alongside Ray Daniel, bringing you coverage now from outside Children's Mercy Park, where you've been watching the funeral. Ray, a powerful service we just got to listen to over the last couple of hours. We heard words, we heard songs, we heard voices that signified a man who was deeply devoted to his community, to service, to family, his faith. What did you hear during that service?
Yeah, we heard a family member who said he leaves a legacy of courage and love that will never fade. And that is something that is shown throughout the community, that he showed off that legacy of that courage, of that love to people he truly cared about.
Now, we heard from different people from his walks of life there, and different people have known him along the way, obviously a lot of years here in Wyandotte County, not just as a deputy, a graduate of Schlegel High School, so been here a long time after being born in Los Angeles and moving to Kansas City when he was just a few years old. We're going to continue our coverage here outside of Children's Mercy as we get ready for the law enforcement procession. That's going to be the next phase of our coverage, but we are already seeing people here starting to gather around outside where that procession will start. Our photographer is going to start over. You're going to see the casket come over, I believe, from this side of the building, and you can see the law enforcement community lined up there ready to begin that procession. And just a little bit further over on the street corner, you can see the first set of family that's lined up this morning, people handing out flags with a thin blue line on them. But these are not the only people we've seen this morning. Ray, you've had a chance actually to talk to a couple of people who are lined up here that don't necessarily have a lot of connection to this deputy.
That's right. There were people actually right in front of us. They're here visiting from Iowa, who decided hey, why not take a time, an hour and a half out of our day to honor someone who serves and protects our community and our country. So the fact that they're here today, taking time out of their day. I spoke with a mother who brought her 2-year-old son who's loves police officers, and she says this is just one way we can honor an officer, unfortunately, who lost his life serving and protecting his community. So, lessons are being taught right outside as we wait to honor Deputy and this procession takes place.
Now you're seeing just a few of these people on our cameras here of the people who have started to line up to prepare for that procession. We expect that to start sometime in the next probably 10 to 15 minutes as that will begin and we get everyone outside of Children's Mercy Park. That's going to continue through a lot of the Wyandotte County area. Obviously, it's going to be on 435 and I-70. We've shown you before. We're going to get to Caroline Hogan in just a moment. She's just not too far from us, a couple of hundred yards away from where this procession is going to start. But obviously, if you want to be out and take part in this is your opportunity to do so. When I was live here during our morning newscast this morning, I talked to someone from Kansas Police Department who actually said, please encourage people to come out. And we've seen so many of these where that's a powerful part of these proceedings when people stand up outside and watch.
Absolutely. You heard the Wyandotte County Sheriff talk about how much, thank you so much to the Ming family for sharing Elijah with us and what he brought to not only the Sheriff's Department, but the community. And that word kept being played over and over, just how much of an advocate he was for the community.
I believe we have an opportunity to maybe show you what this route is going to look like. I'm going to read through exactly what that law enforcement procession will look like now in the next next hour or so as this gets going. Starting here at Children's Mercy Park, obviously where the funeral has been held, but you've been watching for the last couple of hours. It'll head east on France Family Drive, which is right here behind us, then south on Village West Parkway, east on State, south on 435, east on I-70, north on North 7th Street, and west on State Avenue. There will be a private burial service out of all of this public funeral service for Deputy Ming. The burial service is the only part that is not open to the public. The family's going to have some time with friends there alone in that situation, but there were so many people who came out, and you could tell not everyone who visited and came to this funeral probably knew Deputy Ming. They were not all tied directly to him.
Yeah, but they still want to honor him and his life and his legacy, and who laid his life on the line. That's what we kept hearing from people. We were interviewing former teammates of his, as well as former classmates of his, just talking about how his smile lightened up the room. And Lindsay and Caitlin were talking about earlier how much of a protector he was, is what we were hearing throughout the funeral as well.
And we heard so much about his family. Obviously, he leaves behind not only his extended family, but a 2-year-old son and wife here in the Kansas City, Kansas community that's going to continue to need support from this entire community.